you could yourself only live on a few million a year and pretend to even have less money. And all you would have to do is give a call to that billionaire and say, hey, listen, I'd like to visit that mansion of yours out in Long Island. Right now it's empty, as I understand. Would you let me spend a few weeks there? You wouldn't really have to ask, because he knows that you're the real man behind his power, because you have the power to control him. Probably the real world is run by a whole bunch of people who are competing with each other and sometimes fighting each other behind the scenes. And sometimes they use these people that appear to be the people who we think are in power to do their fight for them. And sometimes they cooperate, because sometimes they understand that there are certain situations where cooperation and compromise are necessary to prevent the fire that is in this world, all the suffering and war and crime and corruption, from getting way out of hand. Right now, the fire has been getting way out of hand. And of course, a moderate, wise person like Joe Biden or Barack Obama is a reformist. They're out to, rock the boat but not sink it. They're out to change things in a realistic way that takes time and effort. That's what they're out to do. Now, a lot of people have problems with that. They say, oh, I want change right away. I thought I elected you to basically destroy the military-industrialist complex. You wouldn't want to do that. You see, the military-industrialist complex employs hundreds of thousands of people and even millions of people indirectly. And the effect of destroying that alone, and it's not the only interest group that is at hand. We have a lot of interest groups vying for existence, for continued existence. And they have to fight for their existence. And they have done a lot of damage and a lot of good. It's a mixed bag. The pharmaceutical industries, not just the military-industrialist complex, but the pharmaceutical industries is a big problem. They have been producing a lot of medicines that actually don't help much and may even make our condition worse. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, so if you need advice on a medical issue and about medications and about pharmacies and pharmaceuticals, don't take my advice. I'm not giving it to you. You go and see a professional. But I warn you, make sure you get enough opinions about what's going on, because it's important to be educated about the abuses that the pharmaceutical industries have done. It's not just one amalgam whole monster, this so-called pharmaceutical industry thing. And aside from the pharmaceutical industry, there's the petrochemical industry. Oil. Oil, the big brother club of oil. And we all know that there was a man just recently in power in a certain major country who was pretty much serving the interest of big oil. Now, big oil, is another big monstrosity like the military-industrial complex that you don't want to wipe out right away, because the result of trying to do that would cause chaos and anarchy and an absolute meltdown. It would destroy the world very fast and create horrific conditions. So you want to be careful. It's like having a cancer growth all over your body. The cancer is destroying you, yes. But if you suddenly just take a knife and start cutting out all those cancerous growths on your, let's say, your skin, if it was skin cancer, if you just started cutting it out with a knife, you'd kill yourself. You have to be very careful how you attack cancer. You don't want to kill yourself in the process of destroying the cancer. The military-industrialist complex can be reformed. It can be changed into something progressive and good. It can. But it ain't going to happen right away. It's going to take effort. And I truly believe that Barack Obama and Joe Biden are realists, and they understand that. And I believe that the military-industrialist complex realized that they had made some mistakes about their agenda, and they came to the president and the vice president and said, listen, or at least they met them somewhere, right? And they said, and that's before they even took office. They met them and said, hey, we're about to have a world disaster economically, and we're part of the reason. And so are our friends here from the big oil, and so are our friends from the pharmaceuticals. We all realize that things have gotten out of hand. We have gotten not I wouldn't say too greedy, we've forced each other into competition. You know, a lot of competition in the world forces people in positions of authority in companies to make decisions that are really, really, really terrible decisions because they have no choice in order to keep that company afloat, to make it economically viable, to financially succeed. They have to compete with the other companies that are competing against them. And in order to stay competitive, companies act in a way that we see as greedy. Well, yes, the investors in those companies who expect that their investment portfolios will pay off huge dividends want results, and the bottom line for them is profits. They rarely care about people. Now, I want to make something very clear. Some of the wealthiest people in the world are really actually decent people. I don't think most of them are, but I think some of them are really decent people, and they're trying to make a bad situation less bad, and they're trying to give us time, buy us time, to somehow save our world. Because they realize that their own financial security and interest depend upon stability. But what is stability? What is sustainable stability? What is sustainable market economical stability? Well, it's not sustainable if you go to excesses and you cause society to, lose trust and faith in itself and in government and in big business. And if people are, getting very extreme and doing violent things, that hurts the economy. The other option, of course, is to, wipe out most of the people in the world because, we're too many on this planet, and then we got it all solved. No. You can try to do that, but there are certain interest groups and certain major powers that will stop other powers from doing that. It's not going to happen. They have tried, yes. There have been people trying to cull the masses, to cull the species, and let the world become once again 1 billion or less people so that the rich who have a lot of money can once again really enjoy themselves and not have to fear that we, the huge masses of humanity, are going to overpollute and destroy our planet's natural, beautiful places, Let's be honest about it. There's only so much any one interest group can do before it hits a wall. The wall is the competitors' actions, all the competitors combined. So that's in a way good news, because that means we have, most of us, I apologize, most of us in the developed world, we have a chance to finally change the course of our history and humanity. But we must realize that we need to have ethical governance. We need to have ethics in society. We need to have an understanding that there's a difference between morality and ethics. Morality, that's, between you and your God, or if you don't believe in God, it's whatever you believe is the right conduct. And morality can be quite subjective. Yes, there are certain things, moral things, that almost everybody would agree to, like, don't murder anybody. By the way, the thing about do not kill, that's a misunderstanding. It never said do not kill. It says do not murder. You have a right to kill in self-defense. But just be sure that it's in self-defense, because, according to the laws of where you live, you might think it was in self-defense and they'll say it was murder. Or it may be murder and they may call it self-defense. Let's hope that if you ever have to defend yourself and as a result kill somebody, that you didn't commit murder.